Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and if you are new, welcome. Today we're continuing with another candle from Goose Creek's Passport to Japan collection, and this one is the Mount Fuji Mist candle. As the name suggests, this fragrance is meant to capture the fresh, serene atmosphere surrounding Japan's iconic Mount Fuji. The scent notes for this candle are cool mountain mist, juniper berry, white fir, and worn cedarwood. Based on those notes alone, you might expect something very forest forward or possibly even winter leaning, but in my experience, this candle comes across more balanced and versatile than that. Starting with the cold sniff, the first thing that stands out to me is the juniper berry. It's definitely the most prominent note in this blend. Juniper often has a slightly crisp aromatic quality, and here it gives the fragrance a refreshing, almost airy feel without becoming sharp or medicinal. Behind the juniper berry, I do pick up on the fir, but it's much softer than what you find in a typical balsam or Christmas tree type candle. It doesn't dominate the fragrance, so it doesn't lean into that traditional holiday territory. Instead, it contributes a subtle green forestry note that helps to round out the scent and gives it that outdoorsy character. The cedar wood in this candle is present but subtle, so it doesn't take center stage the way cedar sometimes can. Instead, it adds a gentle woodsy base that supports the other notes without overpowering them. It almost feels like a grounding note that keeps the fragrance feeling natural and balanced. Now let's talk about the cool mountain mist decor because this is where things get interesting for me. When I see a mist note, I usually expect something aquatic, airy, or maybe even eucalyptus-like. But in this fragrance, what I actually pick up on is more of a soft citrus undertone. To my nose, that mist note leans closer to something like a fresh bergamot style citrus rather than a watery or spa like mist. The nice thing about it is that it doesn't turn the fragrance into a cologne scent. Instead, it just brightens the blend and adds a little bit of freshness that lifts the woods and greenery. That citrusy nuance is really nicely done in this fragrance. Once the candle is lit, the fragrance doesn't drastically change. The juniper berry still remains the noticeable note, the fir note continues to provide that green backdrop, and the cedar wood stays soft and supportive. The citrus like mist continues to add that fresh brightness that keeps the fragrance feeling clean and calming. Overall, I would describe Mount Fuji Mist as a green, woodsy, outdoorsy fragrance with a refreshing twist. It doesn't smell like an evergreen forest, and it definitely doesn't have that strong, astringent tree scent that some fir and pine candles can have. It feels much more calming and balanced, almost like standing in a quiet, wooded area early in the morning when the air is cool and fresh. Due to that, I think this candle works really well for the transition to spring. It still has those nature inspired notes, but the freshness and brightness keeps it from feeling too heavy or winter specific. Moving on to the performance, in terms of burn quality, I've had a good experience with this candle so far. The wicks have been behaving well, and I haven't had any issues with tunneling or excessive soot. It's been a fairly clean, consistent burn. For strength and throw, I rate this in the medium range, so it's not overpowering nor is it too light. In my bedroom, the strength and throw have been a 7 out of 10. It's noticeable and fills the room without me going easily nose blind to it. In my open concept, I rate it a 6 to 6.5 out of 10. You can still enjoy it and smell the fragrance, but it performs best in a smaller enclosed space. If you tend to enjoy medium strength candles, then this one might work well for you. I think Mount Fuji Mist fits perfectly into Goose Creek's Passport to Japan collection. It captures that feeling of fresh mountain air without leaning too heavily into any one direction. You get the crisp juniper berry, a touch of green fir, soft cedarwood, and that bright citrus like mist that keeps everything feeling fresh and uplifting. If you enjoy outdoorsy scents that aren't overly piney or harsh, then this candle is definitely worth checking out. It's calming, refreshing, and versatile enough to work in multiple seasons, especially as we move into spring. If you pick this one up, let me know your thoughts, and I will catch you all in the next video.